And they'll play again in August. The Nationals and the Orioles going at it. They have split the first two this year. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thornton. Welcome for the Orioles 2.5 up on the Jays in the American League East, while the Nationals come in ahead of Atlanta in the National League Eastern race. We talk so much about the Oriole way. Over the years, you hear the term used, especially when the ball club is playing well like it is right now. We thought we would go back and take a look at that. The Oriole way comes from Paul Richards. Paul Richards was both a GM and a manager here in the mid-50s. He wrote a book called Modern Baseball Strategy, Mastering the Simple Steps of Baseball Play. He said the simple things in baseball number into the thousands. The difficult or esoteric, there are none. Elrod Hendricks, who was one of the players who came to learn what that was all about, said the Oriole way was never beat yourself. That's why we won so many close games. We let the other team make mistakes. We beat them, and when the opportunity came, we would jump on it, let them beat themselves. Buck Showalter today talked about something he knew a lot about from his days in the minors, the Oriole way.
I saw it as a player playing against them. I saw it in the big leagues, and it's not necessarily it's the baseball way. It's just it's a repetition game. It's a game that fundamentally will always reward you if you stay true to it. But it's just a consistency of being brilliant in the basics. That's really what we've always look for the bells and whistles. I remember there was a player here the other day tried to make a play up the middle on a double play ball, and I could tell he was getting ready to flip it with his glove and not coming out. And J.J. Hardy would have caught that ball, cleared his glove, showed it to the second baseman, got it up there where he could turn it over, and wanted no attention drawn to him. And to me, that's flashy. That's being flashy. Hey, I'll take all the flash known to man. I'm all right, but it better be within the brilliance of basics.
Mike Bordick, you know all about the Oriole way.
Yeah, well, a little bit about the Oriole way. It's all about being a pro, and Buck Showalter hit the nail on the head. It's the baseball way. The way you're supposed to carry yourself on a daily basis is about the preparation, trying to make yourself better every day. But it's more importantly about everybody coming together as a team. And I'll tell you what Buck Showalter has done so well here. He's been able to manage his roster to where every night they take the field, they're the guys. All 25 play the game the right way. More guys you have on your team that do it the right way, the better you're going to be at the end. And that's what the Orioles are looking to do again this year.
And that's what Paul Richards brought. It's kind of funny. Frank Robinson said later when he was becoming a manager, he said, I took the book with me. I just put a Giants cover on it and called it the Giants way. But it all goes back to Paul Richards and about winning. Talk about that now because it matters. Because when you're winning, you've got to remain focused on that. And sometimes with all that goes on, with all the media attention, everything that happens while you're winning games, you can kind of lose sight of what got you there.
Yeah, you really do have to pay attention to the fundamentals, the basics that got you there. Stay within yourself. You don't have to do extra things just because you're winning. You have to play the game of baseball the way you know how to play. And it's all about those 1,000 things, the details of the game, backing up bases, running down the first baseline, taking an extra base when you can, making outs. You don't have to be flashy like Buck said. He said flashy is actually making those outs look easy. So, he's got a team full of those guys, especially this defense that he's got J.J. Hardy leading the way, Adam Jones up the middle. So many guys, really great pros that prepare themselves so well and bring it every night they step on the field.
What we've had so far in these two games that they have gotten to play, the Nationals and the Orioles, has been kind of a home run derby. One night it was the Orioles. That came in the 11-inning, extra inning win for the O's. And last night it was the Nationals with the long ball. Are they going to do that again tonight? Or are they just going to arm wrestle and come up with a winner? Nationals-Orioles coming up. at-bats of the Nationals, who came away with 3 in a ball game that they would put away because of the long ball. They had watched the Orioles do it in game number 1 when the Orioles had the big home runs in the 11th inning. So tonight, these two in game 3 of what ends up being a rubber match game. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by Chapin Davis, providing investments that can produce income from your retirement plan. Call to learn more, 800-222-3246 or at chapindavis.com. Thunderstorms going through the area during the afternoon, but both teams able to get on the field, got their work done. And our train game time temperature is at 79 degrees. Very little breeze to start the game. Visit trainsearch.com to find your local comfort specialist dealer. It's hard to stop a train, really hard. For the Nationals, here's the lineup for this one. Span, Rendon, Worth, LaRoche, Zimmerman, Harper. It'll be Desmond, Ramos, and Franzen gets a start at second base. For Jason Worth last night, big 2 for 3, including a home run.
And here's a look at Wei-Yin Chen's pitch arsenal this season, using that fastball at 65% of the time. Breaking ball, he's got 2 of them, the curveball and the slider. The changes come up big for Chen. He uses it 13% of the time. When he's on, that becomes a real good pitch for him. 8 wins on the season. That earned run average coming down to 4.12. 98 1/3 innings of work, 69 punch-outs with just the 18 walks on the season. Opponents hitting 284 overall. The number by the lefties, though, 327. Righties at 270. There's going to be a challenge tonight. See the home runs by the opponent at 16. Well, this Nationals offense kind of heating up in last night's ball game, and they hit lefties to a tune of 281. So Wei-Yin Chen's got to be on his game, able to locate that fastball in and out, and of course mix in those off-speed pitches.
And a special interest fan here. Yeah, that is Matt Wieters. Matt back joining the ball club here for the final games before the All-Star break. You see he's got that in a cast, not doing a lot of flying. Because of that, it affects how that arm feels a little bit. But great to have Matt back, and the players love seeing him today. And we are underway. Wei-Yin Chen will miss outside with it for a ball. Matt's going to be with the ball club a good deal after the All-Star break, and especially in games that are being played here at Camden Yards. Span leading it off, a 2 for 9 in the 2 games played. He will take that one for a strike. Comes in with a 7-game hit streak.
Well, great speed. Picked up a hit last night in a stolen base. The infield gets drawn in because of that bunt possibility. Manny Machado sucked in on the grass over there at third base.
Ground ball will go to first base. A slow roller played by Davis to the bag. Span is retired.
Now let's take a look at the Orioles defense tonight. Brought to you by Chevrolet. Pierce Jones and Mark Kakis in the outfield. Hardy and Scope up the middle. Machado and Davis on the corners. And Caleb Joseph once again behind the plate.
We have mentioned in this series that this Nationals team has gone 14-9 against left-handed starters. They've got the 7th best win percentage against lefties in the majors. Matt Williams' team also has the largest differential in batting average between left-handers and right-handers, and the numbers heavily favor the average they have against lefties. That's something else Chen's going to have to battle with tonight.
Well, he sure is, and really every start it boils down to Wei-Yin Chen's ability to locate the fastball. And that pitch there, he's got to be able to get that fastball in off the plate, help open up that outside corner. He's got to be able to throw strikes inside and mix up his pitches. Saw the mistakes that they can do damage on last night's ball game. A few home runs by the Nationals, so keeping it down in the zone is going to be important.
That one up in the air. Anthony Rendon got it deep, but it's going to stay in the yard, and Pierce will haul it in shy of the warning track. And there are 2 down here in the first inning. Wei-Yin Chen also is a fly ball pitcher predominantly, as are most of the Orioles starters. He's had 58% of the balls off him hit in the air are the line drives or fly balls. And in this ballpark, the Oriole fans know how dangerous that can be if it gets too fat in the middle of the plate.
You elevate, and it's going to get out of here in a hurry. Jason Worth, of course, showed that last night. He's been red hot here in the month of July. National League Player of the Week, and he hit the long ball deep to left.
Pitch will be taken up high. He indeed is hot. You see the numbers in the National League ranking this month.
Yeah, that .440 batting average, the on-base percentage second in the league, slugging percentage first, OPS first, 11 RBI.
And will miss outside. And C.B. Buckner is early on in the game doing what the past history would show. He tends to be an umpire who will favor the hitters. Not a great deal, but enough to make a difference. That'll be an outside corner strike. CB, a veteran umpire on this staff, his 15th year, started in 1999. He is from Jamaica, born in Jamaica, West Indies, and came to the U.S. Spends a lot of time back in Jamaica in the off-season helping to build homes for seniors. 2-1 delivery on the way. That is right there, and Worth just got tied up with the bat. 2-2.
Yeah, works a fastball away to get a strike, and then this fastball works itself back over the inner third. I think Jason Worth looking for a different pitch.
Kind of froze on that. Never got the bat off his shoulders. Wei and Chen, 2-ball, 2-strike count. Worth will go after it. Chen has a real solid start. Gets the strikeout. He retires the side in order. Orioles lineup coming up. Southwest Airlines. Their fares online only at southwest.com. Markakis, Pearson, Jones, Cruz, Davis, and Hardy, Machado, Joseph, and Scope for Manny Machado, a 6-game hit streak, and the numbers he's putting up against Washington this year, ridiculous.
Now let's take a look at Gio Gonzalez's pitch arsenal this season. The fastball at 63%, breaking ball 21% of the time, and that changeup 16%. He's got a pretty good fastball, not the velocity we've seen from Gonzalez in the past, but still works it in the low 90s. 13 games, spent a month on the disabled list. Has the 6 wins at 3.52 earned run average, 78 strikeouts, but 30 walks. So he has some command problems at times. Opponents hitting 225, lefties at 264, righties at 215. Gio Gonzalez has been hot here, hasn't allowed an earned run in his last 3 starts. So 22 scoreless innings. Orioles looking to try to break that streak.
And Nick Markakis will lead it off against him, and the pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Gonzalez, a 1-3 record lifetime against the Orioles. He had a win in his first start against the O's in 2009 here at Camden Yards. He is 0-3 since then. Overall, his record in this ballpark, 1-1, 3 games, 2.79 ERA in pitching here at Camden Yards. And he's going after his own record with the Nationals of 25 consecutive scoreless innings. That's the record, and he owns it for Washington. Ball down the line, and that's going to end up in the seats.
Well, here's a look at that scoreless streak Gio Gonzalez is on. 22 innings. Opponents hitting just 139, just 1 extra base hit. And walks and hits per innings pitched at .77. 20 strikeouts, 7 walks. When a guy gets on, he shuts him down. 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Now, since he's come off the disabled list, he's been going to that changeup a lot more.
Markakis will ground it to second base. Franzen is playing there in this game, and Markakis is retired.
Let's take a look at the Nationals defense behind Gonzalez, Harper, Span, and Worth in the outfield. Desmond and Franzen up the middle. Rendon and LaRoche on the corners with Ramos. Hot Ramos behind the plate.
The numbers for Gonzalez this season are almost exactly what his career numbers are, so he's been consistent. Here is Steve Pearce, remains in the lineup in left field, batting in the number 2 spot. He has faced Gonzalez before, has a 2 for 6 against him. And the delivery on the way, and that will be taken for a 1-0 count. Gonzalez, also a fly ball pitcher. 40% of the balls off bats against him have been ground balls, 60 up in the air. He's also somebody you want to get to with runners on. He's got that big spread. If the bases are empty, 194. If somebody's on, it jumps to 274. So not as effective out of the stretch. That one in the air to left field. He got all of that one way back. Goodbye, home run. That will end the 22 1/3 scoreless inning stretch for Gonzalez. Pearce gets the home run, and the Orioles get a 1-0 lead.
Steve Pearce, I'm going to say he was in a slump, but his bat hasn't been as hot as we'd seen it. It's a good way to break out. Gets himself in a good hitter's count, 2-0 count, just hammers the fastball.
And he ladled that one for Pearce. He gets just the 6th home run that's been hit against Gonzalez this year, and this series of homers continues. It's been that way in both of the previous games here, these 3. And Pearce starts it out in the first inning with his 11th home run and his 31st RBI. Here is Adam Jones. He'll take that towards the hole, played by LaRoche behind the pitcher who put the tag on, and avoids the collision and gets the out.
Pretty dangerous play right there, LaRoche and Gonzalez. But let's take a look at Steve Pearce here. 2-0 count, and he gets a fastball about center cut, and that bat head went directly to the baseball. Take a look at the path. Right down to it. Chops that ball in half, and some great backspin. Get the Orioles on the board.
And mighty happy is Bradley Farber of Glen Burnie, our Maryland Lottery contestant of the game. 500 for being selected, 500 for every Orioles home run hit. You've already got one. Play the Orioles scratch off for the Maryland Lottery. Your chance to be the contestant of the game. Win a trip to see the O's play at Wrigley or to the World Series. Learn more at mdlottery.com/Orioles. Here is Nelson Cruz, and he will take the pitch inside for a ball. Orioles get that first run on the board, 3rd best.
Yeah, great record. 34 wins, just 9 losses when scoring first.
Cruz chasing a pitch. That's that off-speed delivery that breaks away. Gonzalez with a 1-ball, 1-strike count and 2 down. And he'll come back with a fastball, so you see the differential there. 92-mile-an-hour fastball, 81-82-mile-an-hour changeup.
Yeah, he likes that change. In trouble right now commanding it, but early in the ball game.
Pitch will be taken inside and will fall behind. 3 balls and 1 strike on Cruz. Well, the Orioles looking to get their numbers up against left-handed on the season. The Orioles are 12-13 off lefties. They have the 20th win percentage against lefties in the majors. 20th out of the 30 teams. Not good, even though it's only 1 game below 500. They have been able to get a decent average off left-handers, but have not been able to come away with the wins when a left-handed starter is in the ball game. 3-ball, 2-strike count on Cruz. Delivery on the way, and there's that changeup again. He got him. So Gonzalez will leave, surrendering the home run to Steve Pearce. For Gonzalez, he is 0-3 when he gives up a home run in the ball games in which he surrendered them. He surrendered one, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead. later in our ball game tonight, brought to you by Miller Lite. Steve Pearce.
Yeah, he got on that fastball, 98 miles an hour off the bat of Pearson. He stayed over that baseball about as well as you can do. I mean, not trying to do too much, just getting the bat head to the ball, and he squared it up.
Pearce now has 2 career home runs against the Nationals. And as far as home road numbers for Pearce, that's his 6th home run that he has picked up here at Camden Yards. He has 5 away, but he's sitting over 360 here at Camden Yards, 268 on the road. So the Orioles get the lead. By the way, the Orioles have evened up now of the schedule for a long time. They had more road games than home games, exactly even on the year now. They are 23-22 here at home, 26-19 in games played away. Buck Showalter's Ball Club 49-41, 2.5 game lead over Toronto. Chen with a 1-0 lead. Adam LaRoche will go after the first pitch. A chopper down to first. Davis will take it himself. Easy out on a pitch. The Orioles host the American League East rival Yankees. Pivotal 3-game set beginning tomorrow. Tickets are going fast. Saturday's game nearly a sellout, so don't miss a chance to be a part of a great Birdland weekend. And fans are encouraged to bring any non-perishable food items and cash donations to the park to benefit the Maryland Food Bank. That'll be going on all weekend long. Part of Oriole Reach and their Food and Funds Drive. Here is Zimmerman. He'll take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Well, right now, Wei-Yin Chen locating that fastball really well, and he's actually throwing a little two-seamer, getting a little late action as it fades down and away on the right-handers.
Zimmerman DHing here. He will take that one for a strike. He's had only 1 hit and 8 at-bats in the series. Wei-Yin Chen getting his 18th start, 11th here at home. He's 4-2 at home with a 3.84 ERA, 4th highest in home runs surrendered. Fouled away. He's given up 16 homers on the year. Wei-Yin coming off the game against Texas, 2 runs, 6 hits over 6 innings, where he got the win. The Orioles have gone 10-7 in the 17 games he has started. Under the ever watchful eye of Dave Wallace, pitching coach. The 0-2 delivery on the way, right back to the mound. Our Jeep inside the numbers.
Now, different ways to win. Washington 49 wins. The Orioles have 49 wins. But take a look at the home runs. Orioles up to 112. And here's the difference for the Nationals, that 3.07. Great pitching. Both the rotation and the bullpen very strong for the Nationals. Orioles, big time offensive team. They get a little bit more help from the pitchers. They could run away with this thing.
That's what the hope is for the Orioles. That's why these games against the Yankees coming up this weekend will really matter. Pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Here is Harper trying to get himself back into game shape after coming off the DL. He has had an 0 for 7 in the series, couple of hits and 5 at bats against Wei-Yin Chen, and Chen will get it in there for a strike, 1-1.
Boy, he is keeping the fastball down. He's got the good velocity, the low 90s, 92, 93 miles an hour. A good sign, good start for Wei-Yin Chen here.
Fly ball pitcher has already got 3 ground ball outs, and that one he got laid on as it rode in on him, and a 1-ball 2-strike count on Harper. Orioles trying to take 2 out of 3 here. As fans know, the game that got rained out in D.C. will be made up there on the 4th of August, 7 o'clock game in D.C. Both teams had that day off. They don't anymore. It's foul back. Stays at 1-2.
Wei-Yin Chen has done a lot. He's done a lot of positive things this year. And I think one of his goals, and Buck Showalter's goals, is to try to get up over 200 innings pitched. He's got 98, well, 99 now. So, you know, I think proving that he can be one of these durable type pitchers.
He got him. Boy, he's had a great start. That's 2 strikeouts, 6 in a row retired. Everything's staying down. Orioles have the 1-0 lead. Major savings with your Birdland Summer 6-pack. Ticket to any 6 of your choice. So get on there and select the games and the promotions you want to be a part of. Save up to more than 20% off the cost of single game tickets. Go to Orioles.com/6-pack or 888-848-BIRD. Two people who love to talk baseball, and they will whenever Matt Wieters is on the bench, even when he's playing. He and Buck Showalter exchange a lot of comments about games as it's going on. Chris Davis will be coming to the plate. 3 for 9, a homer, 3 RBIs in the series. Bat starting to heat up for him. There's the off-speed delivery, and it will be in there for a strike.
See, last night a couple hits for Chris Davis and an RBI. That average slowly starting to come up at 205, but still good numbers. The 14 home runs, 45 RBI.
He will miss on that one. Davis 213 off left-handers.
Take a look at the highest on base plus slugging percentage versus the Nationals. Manny Machado and Chris Davis on top there. Of course, Manny Machado has just been raking here in this series. 8 hits, got a double and a home run, and Chris Davis a couple hits in last night's ball game and a home run to add to his big totals against the Nats.
Manny waiting in the hole. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and Davis off the slow pitch back of the mound for Hopper to Desmond. He'll record the out. So Davis retired. That ball didn't have much on it. And one away here in the second inning. That'll bring up J.J. Hardy. Gonzalez wanting a new baseball here. Hardy 1 for 9, a home run, and the 1 RBI that he's had in the series. Gonzalez with 1 out and nobody on. Outfield pretty much straight away. Very little breeze, a little bit towards center, but shouldn't affect fly balls, not at the moment anyway. Hardy will take the fastball up and away. Hardy's hitting 241 off lefties, 60 points lower than he is against right-handed batters. He hit 264 off lefties last year, so he's 20 points about lower this year against left-handers than he was last year. Here's the 2-0 delivery on the way to him. Off-speed pitch is in there for a strike.
His go-to pitch here recently, another changeup, and keeping it down in the zone. He's gotten some early outs with that change.
2-1 delivery on the way, in the air to center, right at him. Span will put it away, and there are 2 down. Well, what numbers we said he's putting up against these Nationals.
Yeah, Manny Machado has been red hot here recently. The last 2 games, 8 for 10, a couple home runs, 3 RBI. See how he pulls his hips through there. That bat head follows that solo shot in last night's ball game. Another 3 for night for Manny Machado.
On the year now, Machado against the Nationals is 15 for 26. He's hitting over 500 against the Washington Nationals in his career. And he will take the pitch for a strike on an outside corner. He's had 2 career home runs to go along with that big average against them. He's wishing the Nationals would come into this league.
Right.
Into the division. Here's the 0-1, and that will be taken up by 1 ball, 1 strike count. Raising his average through all of this to that 269 number you saw, and chases that one that's down in the dirt.
Chasing that changeup, but there's a couple players heating up since June 1st. Anthony Rendon has been red hot. Manny Machado as well, both up over 300, 7 home runs each. Rendon with 25 RBI, 11 doubles. Machado with 15 RBI and the 8 doubles. So red hot since June 1st.
2 real good young players, way up high. The suspension that Manny served, the 5 games, did not affect him. If anything, he came back stronger than ever. A great sign for him. He's 12 for 21, .431 batting average over the last 12 games. Pitch is swung on and maybe foul tipped into the middle. Strikeout for Gonzalez. That'll be his second. Orioles are retired in Oakland. Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by Luna. For beautiful new carpet, hardwood, and laminate, call 877-241-LUNA. Barry Thorne, Mike Bordick with you here as the Orioles wrap this up. Wait for the Yankees to come to town for the ball game tomorrow. The Red Sox, second day in a row, they've come back against the White Sox to win a game. 10 innings, 4-3. Boston over the Cubs. Ortiz 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. Mike Carp had the game-winning RBI coming off the bench. Lester gave up only a run on 7 hits over 7 innings. Quintana, weird line. 3 runs on 2 hits over 7, and he had 7 strikeouts. Yikes.
Wow.
He didn't win.
Nope.
Here's Ian Desmond. Desmond with a 1 for 9, a home run. 3rd in strikeouts in the National League. He'll go after the first one.
Oh, he swings hard. He gets after it. Of course, last night the 1 for 4 with the home run, but 16 home runs on the year, 54 RBI. So he has been very productive out of that shortstop position.
Fastball is going to be taken up and in from Chen. He started the ball game out with a couple of strikeouts. Wei-Yin Chen looking for his first win against the Nationals, 0-2. Outside for a ball, making his 3rd career start. ERA 7.71 against them. Last faced the Nationals in June of 2012. 2-1 delivery on the way, foul back.
Well, that one up a little bit, but here in the early part of the ball game, keeping it down in the zone. Actually looks like he's throwing a 2-seamer that kind of tails down and away to the right-handed hitters. We haven't seen a lot of movement, or at least Wei-Yin Chen using his 2-seamer that much, but there is a little bit of late life on there.
2-2 delivery on the way, that to first base. Davis, a busy day already down there at first, will take it to the bag himself. Win lunch with Adam Jones, presented by Care First. Just text Masson's word of the day, JUMP, to 29292 for your chance to win. Care First, Blue Cross Blue Shield, encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Adam heading to the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby.
It should be entertaining watching Adam get out there.
Yeah, he intends to have some fun with it. Pitch will be taken for a ball. Ramos, the catcher, 12-game hit streak, 3 for 8 with a home run and an RBI in the series. 1-0 delivery, and that's up the middle, and he stays hot. So there's the first hit, first base runner for the Nationals, a 1-out single by Ramos. For the Orioles, the All-Star break, of course, is coming up. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by the Krieger Eye Institute. From routine to the most specialized eye care, LifeBridge Health's Krieger Eye Institute handles it all. Call 410-601-2020 for a same-day appointment.
Yeah, Yankees coming into town over the weekend. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, then 4 o'clock Saturday. ESPN game, 8 o'clock Sunday night, and then off to the All-Star break. And the Orioles, they head west, take on the A's.
A red-hot Oakland A's team. They beat San Francisco again today by a score of 6-1. They right now are just on fire. The A's are. I'm sure they wish the All-Star break wasn't coming. Keep on playing. They are 58-34. They at the moment have a 4-game lead, just a 4-game lead though, over the Angels, who have surged in the last month. Franzen up, ground ball towards third base. Manny Machado's got it. There's one. Relay scope. Picked by Davis. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. Another double play turn by the team that leads the majors in that department. coach the American League team regarding the All-Star game selecting the home team for the World Series. I just think a full-bodied season of interleague play is more representative of who is deserving of the home field advantage. That's how Farrell would make that selection. And of the 19 biggest free agent contracts last winter, 2 made the All-Star team. Robinson, Cano, and Tanaka, who of course is injured. Interestingly, 3 All-Stars, Nelson Cruz, Francisco Rodriguez, and Kurt Suzuki, all signed deals that were no more than $8 million or less. Pat Neshek, who made the All-Star team, signed a minor league contract.
Pretty amazing, isn't it? How things work out in this game.
What money can't buy.
Right.
Caleb Joseph will lead it off for the Orioles here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 3-game hit streak for Caleb. He's had a 1 for 3 in the series, catching 2 of the 3 games, and a strike on the outside corner. Injuries continue to pile up. Yadier Molina's out 8 to 12 weeks. Ligament tear in his thumb. That's a serious setback for the team and for Molina. Carlos Beltran's gone on the 7-day DL. So that's the concussion DL, diagnosed with one. Just never ends.
Unbelievable.
In a year of every day key players injured. Popped up second base. Granson is over, puts it away. 1 down. When the Orioles win, everyone wins all season long. When the Orioles win and score 5 or more, you get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com. Just enter promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's.
I think we talk about the injuries as Jonathan Schoop comes up to the plate. It started in spring training, and there were major injuries that were happening, and there was always talk, how are the teams going to respond to the injuries? And the depth of your organization constantly gets tested. And of course, when you look at Matt Wieters going down, a Gold Glove catcher, and he was off to a fabulous start, and the Orioles had to dig down into the minor leagues. Caleb Joseph has come up. They had to work a trade to get Nick Hundley. So, you know, you always have to be on top of that and actually prepared for those type of things. And when a team comes in or goes into the off season, they check the depth, who could possibly be there if one of their key players goes down, who's going to potentially fill in, and potential trade candidates, you know, to fill in those voids.
Yep. And this year, more than ever, that depth has mattered around Major League Baseball. 1 down, nobody on here. Jonathan Schoop ahead on the count. 3 balls and 1 strike from Gonzalez. Schoop will take that one the other way, and it will end up foul. Jorge Gonzalez coming in against the Orioles with a 1-3 record. And that 1-1 mark here at Camden Yards. He's got a great win percentage in a young career. 76 wins, 52 losses. And in his prime, really, at 28 years old. 3-2 delivery on the way. Foul back again.
Gonzalez 5 straight seasons with the winning record, so you know he knows what it takes. Had that little setback this year, missing a month with the right shoulder inflammation. You know, came back even better and able to. We talked about him being able to use his changeup, and there's another great one there in the bottom of the zone.
Boy, that pitch, Schoop just turns and looks back like, wow.
Yeah, it's got great action. Late life down in the bottom of the zone. Now, Gonzalez used to be a power type pitcher, a fastball he could throw in the mid-90s. Here, you make your adjustments as you age a little bit, or if there are injury setbacks. His changeup has become his bread and butter. Working it down in the bottom of the zone, another strikeout.
3 Ks. He's had as many as 9 in a ball game this year. 2 down, nobody on. Markakis, who grounded out his first time up. Nick will take the pitch for a ball. Now 3 for 10 in this series, and Nick continues to lead all active players, 4th all time in interleague average at .339. Nick playing in his 139th interleague game. Will take the pitch away, and the count goes to 2-0.
The Orioles hitters, they know what Gonzalez is all about. They know he has some quality pitches, but they also know that they can be patient at times. Try to get his pitch count up and wait for mistakes. falling behind here to Nick Markakis. When Steve Pearce hit that solo shot back in the first, it was a 2-0 count. So, you know, he can be erratic at times. So wait him out. Could make mistakes.
Nick hitting exactly the same against righty lefties coming in. .293. And walked him on 4 straight pitches. And walked him in front of the guy who's got the home run of him. Time for all fans to tweet their photo using hashtag #MASSNFanPhotos for a chance to have it shown in a future broadcast brought to you by AT&T. 2 down, 1 on. Pearce delivered the long ball, the 11th of the year in that first inning. Now 3 for 7 with a homer lifetime off Gonzalez.
Well, Steve Pearce's numbers this year, career highs, 11 home runs already on the season.
2 down. Runner off first, Markakis, and that one on the inside corner.
Here's Steve Pearce's first at bat, 2-0 count, and he puts the hammer down. Head to baseball, home run. Gonzalez's first run given up in over 22 innings of work.
0-1 delivery out of the stretch and fooled him. Off-speed breaking ball and a good one. It's 78, about the slowest pitch he's thrown in the ballgame.
He's got a good curve. Primarily he uses that pitch as a strikeout pitch. Likes to bury it down in the dirt, but here able to get ahead 0-2 on Pearce with it.
Delivery on the way, another breaking ball, and that one will be taken as it bounced off the plate. Count goes to 1-2. Orioles second only to Toronto in home runs hit on the season. The Orioles now have 113. Toronto's got 116. Outfield deep on Pearce. 1-2 the count. Markakis off first. Breaking ball that he lunges at and gets the base hit. Worth up with it. That's one of those. It was sitting there like a big balloon, but the question was, would he be able to time it? He did, and he's 2 for 2.
Well, a great piece of hitting once again by Steve Pearce, and the key is able to keep that front side closed. Well, Steve Pearce closes off his stance. He did that just before getting on this tear, and look at him get out over that front side, stay on the ball. The great concentration with the head down. Picks himself up another base hit. 2 knocks on the day.
So the Orioles get their third hit of the ball game. Well, their second hit, I'm sorry, and both of them by Pearce. So now the runner is on at first and second. Jones will get the opportunity. Adam is due. He's had just a 1 for 10 in the 3 games against the Nationals. He is 4 for 20. Lifetime off Gonzalez, but still has the best batting average in the league against lefties. And that pitch will be in there for a strike. Came in hitting .419 against southpaws.
Yeah, he's been raking the lefties. And he's having himself a great first half. Good power numbers. We've talked about his numbers on the climb. Probably going to match in some categories his career highs. And when you think Adam Jones can't get much better, he's trying to prove everybody wrong.
Off speed, takes it the other way. Worth going over, is not going to be able to play it. It'll take a hop and die on him. Scoring Markakis. Pearce will be held. It is a double and an RBI for Adam Jones, and the Orioles have a 2-0 lead.
Well, some 2-out thunder here from the Baltimore Orioles offense, and Adam Jones, look at him reach out and get this. That's why he is so dangerous. Incredible plate coverage, pretty good breaking balls, well down and away, but he finds a hole down that right field line. Jason Worth over boogieing on the ball. It's a late hold there by Bobby Dickerson to stop Steve Pearce. Pearce was coming hard, but the ball was getting back in the infield. Adam Jones picking up his 19th double.
So Adam with 54 RBIs. Second and third. Here's Cruz, and he will take the pitch inside. So the Orioles, with runners in scoring position in the series, came in at 4 for 13, leaving 13 on base. They've gotten 1 here with a runner in scoring position on the double by Jones, and Cruz will take 2-0.
Well, it's all about really Nick Markakis. I mean, 2 quick outs, and then Markakis works a 4-pitch walk. Start off with a 2-out rally. Steve Pearce, a great piece of hitting, and Adam Jones comes up big. So now some pressure on here when it looked like the inning was going to go by fast.
Off-speed delivery is swung on and missed. Cruz and Jones both in the top 10 against left-handers, with Jones 1. Cruz is ranked 5th at .363 against lefties. So they're the two best numbers the Orioles have against left-handed pitchers. Strikeout victim is first time up. 2 ball, 1 strike count, 2 away. Gonzalez to Cruz towards the middle. That's scooped up. Desmond to third, throws it away, and another run will score. Adam Jones. Cruz will be credited with a single and an RBI, and then the error on Desmond will allow Jones to score, and the Orioles have a 4-0 lead.
Well, a big reason why the Nationals have been playing so well here recently is their defense has been solid. They had a 13-game errorless streak coming in, but Desmond showing the range, but turns and tries to catch Jones off guard and yoinks away almost up into the stands. Pierce able to score, and Adam Jones in easily on the error by the shortstop.
And a ball club that has not been committing errors. They have played defense perfectly over the last string of games. That ends here. They had gone 13 straight games without an error. That error is also going to cost them a run.
You wonder about that decision by Desmond. Now, we've seen him in the series with the cannon arm. I mean, probably one of the strongest arms in the league. Yeah, he had to range up the middle a little bit, but his arm is plenty enough, I think, to possibly get Cruz at first and not take such a risky play throwing behind him at third base.
Yeah, I was really surprised he went that way and just threw it away. Here's Davis. Shift is on. Cruz is on at first base, picking up his league leading 74th RBI for Nelson Cruz. And the Orioles have scored 3 runs with 2 outs in the inning. And Gonzalez will have it away. 26 pitches thrown in the inning by Gio Gonzalez. Running into a buzzsaw here after giving up that walk to Markakis. The error on Desmond keeping the inning going. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Breaking ball that didn't. Stays up and in. 2-1.
Well, really now laboring through this inning. Orioles offense putting some pressure on them, and they can do that in a hurry on guys. We saw them explode for the 6 runs in that extra inning affair to start the series.
Davis goes deep into the shift. Franzen from the outfield will make the throw and record the out. The Orioles come away though with the 3 runs on 3 hits, a costly error, and 1 left on, a 4-0 lead. The key ALE showdown rivalry, the final home game before the All-Star break. Great chance to get to the ballpark. Show the nation your support for the Orioles. You can get your tickets now at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Orioles made a roster change today as they have recalled right-hander Preston Guillemette He's up again. He's been on the train back and forth a lot from AAA. And Bud Norris has been sent down. The Orioles starter who missed 17 days on the DL and did not have an effective start in the ball game last night. Buck Showalter said he wanted Norris to get on a regular schedule. He had hoped to get him 2 starts before the All-Star break. Can't get that in now because of the rain out in D.C. So he wants Norris to be fresh after the break. He'll go down and get a tune-up start, probably for Bowie during the interim.
Well, it's important. They want to be strong after the All-Star break, and Bud Norris, he was a huge key in the first half, really helping the Orioles kind of keep their head above water for a while until they could all come together like they have here in the last few weeks. But yeah, they need Bud Norris strong for the second half.
Span will go after the first pitch and foul it back. So Wei-Yin Chen has got 4 runs on the board in his favor. 4-0 ball game. 4-4-0 for the Orioles. 0-1-1 for the Nationals. 2 of the 3 runs earned, 1 unearned run in that 3rd inning. Chen has had things swing around for him from last year. He's gotten a lot of run support this year. He's 3rd in the American League in run support. 604 behind Scott Kazmir and C.J. Wilson.
Wei-Yin Chen, his earned run average was up there first couple months of the season, but it's starting to work its way down, becoming more consistent. He's had some pretty good starts.
Chopper towards second base. Jonathan Scopes got it. Quick throw.
And the reason he's got the 8 wins on the year because of that run support. So good combination, good pitching, and the Orioles offense. And they're starting off right on cue.
And the pressure's on with the 6 starters that are hanging around for the second half. How that's going to work out. Dan Duquette, the GM, Vice President of Operations of the Orioles, saying yesterday the biggest improvement the Orioles pitching staff can have is being able to get Kevin Gausman in the rotation on a regular basis. He thinks that's more important than any deal they could pull if they can get Kevin in on a regular basis. So that's telling the other starters where the GM stands.
Yeah. Well, every time Kevin Gausman gets his opportunity to pitch up here, he shines. I mean, his fastball is electric, the great velocity. He's done some special things in his starts this year.
He's going to start Sunday for Norfolk. Kevin Gausman is. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be taken inside. Rendon flied out his first time up. He's 3 for 10 with a homer, 2 RBIs in the series. Up there among the leaders offensively in the National League with that .283 batting average. Chen's delivery to him will miss outside. He'll fall behind with the fastball. 3-1.
Well, this game shows you that it's not only about the competition against your opponent, but it's competition within organizations. If players, are knocking on the door and show that they're ready, they're just waiting for an opportunity. Yep. Kevin Gausman's come up and he's shown that he can have some success up here, so it puts a little pressure on the rotation and might elevate their game, and we have seen some great starting pitching.
Yep. For the GM and for the manager, there is one question: will it make us better?
That's what it's all about.
That covers a lot of ground. Ooh, Chen right through the box on that one. He probably heard the breeze on that. Rendon getting the base hit, the second base hit of the ball game, and that ball was really tagged up the middle.
Well, Rendon showing he can hit just about any pitch. This pitch not bad down in the zone, but he just drops the head on it. The spinning Wei-Yin Chen's cap. Take a look at the location. That's down below the knees. And he takes it right back through the middle.
So Chen having that one fly by into center field. Puts the base runner on with 1 away. Middle of the order now. Third hitter. Worth, strikeout victim. His first time up. Worth getting a look at Wei-Yin Chen for the first time in his career. Rendon off first, being held over there, and the pitch will tail away for a ball. Orioles trying to take this 3rd game between these 2 clubs.
And 2 of the better teams in baseball, 2 of the hottest teams with some of the hottest players. Of course, Adam Jones and Steve Pearce last week named American League Players of the Week, and here Jason Worth, the National League Player of the Week, and both teams at the top of their division.
Pitch will be taken. So Worth gets ahead on the count 2-0. I always wonder whether a ball hit like that through the middle, whether a pitcher takes a moment to get back, just settle back down.
It shakes you a little bit.
Yeah.
That ball was by him when he put his glove up.
Oof. 2-0 delivery on the way to Worth, and that's going to be taken for a strike on the inside corner. Worth not sure as he turns to the home plate umpire, C.B. Buckner. Worth a .375 hitter off left-handers. He's 125 points higher against the lefties than the righties for Jason Worth. Not a big lead at first base, and the 2-1 delivery and slice foul, so Chen comes back on him.
Well, Rendon has been showing his bat speed, and that bullet back up the middle came off the bat at 98 miles an hour, just whistling by Wei-Yin Chen's ears.
Rendon has played a heck of a series, both at the plate and in the field. His work at third base spectacular in the game last night. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Rendon not going, and Worth will take it down to third. That'll be a foul ball.
Good change up there from Wei-Yin Chen. 84 miles an hour. Like the fact that he's keeping that fastball down in the zone. Boy, does that help your off-speed pitches play up, almost getting Jason Worth.
Like the Orioles have Jones and Cruz, two of the top 10 hitters against lefties. So do the Nationals have two of the top hitters against lefties. Worth at .375 is fifth in the National League. Rendon at .358 is eighth against lefties. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Chen's delivery to him. Worth again will fight it back.
Another one down there. Now it seems like some of the Nationals hitters actually gearing down. A couple good cuts. Bottom of the zone from Worth. Of course, Rendon getting on a low fastball as well. Might have to change eye level a little bit.
Little discussion going on at the mound. And, what they want to throw here. Caleb Joseph out to talk to Chen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fourth inning of this ball game. The Orioles, the home run by Pierce. Jones has an RBI, Cruz an RBI, and 1 run scored on an error. Rendon not going. 2-2 to Worth, and he got him to go after a pitch that was up and away.
Well, why not? The hole at bat, he's working down in the zone, down and away, down and in, and here riding fastball at 93 to get Jason Worth. You see it take off. Nice late finish as Worth's bat just underneath the ball for a big strikeout.
So now 2 down with a runner on at first, and the shift will be employed against Adam LaRoche, another power bat in the lineup. He grounded out his first time up. He's 2 for 4, lifetime off Chen. One of those 2 hits, a home run. And the pitch to him is a fastball that's in there for a strike. LaRoche has had 4 home runs, 12 RBIs in the last 16 ball games. Moves it around, but he'll take the ball to right and center. Predominant number of times. Outfield straight away. Ooh-ah! Into the kitchen it went. Didn't get him though, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Pretty close. I don't know how he got out of the way of that one. I think he was wondering if it caught his jersey.
That's what Matt Williams is wondering as he comes out of the dugout.
Yeah, it just takes off, loses at arm side.
It did. It did hit his jersey. And C.B. Buckner may ask for a little help on this.
Oh, you can't see that.
Did anybody else see it? I think is what he's asking. The crew chief, Gary Cederstrom, is coming in from second base. This is not reviewable. Well, it is reviewable. All right.
Won't be.
Yep. Check the handy dandy sheet. What plays are reviewable? Yes, indeed it is.
All right.
I think he's going to be on.
Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. You see the fastball riding in. Caleb Joseph reaching up there, and that jersey getting untucked a little bit.
C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire. Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, will listen. Cederstrom is going to be the home plate umpire for the All-Star game this year. Man with his back to you there. That's a great reward for the umpires to work the All-Star game. And he's going down, and they're right. So the Nationals challenge works, hit by a pitch. That's the third batter hit this season by Wei-Yin Chen. Changes the complexion of the inning a little bit. 2 on, 2 down, and Zimmerman coming to the plate.
Well, the Orioles were able to take advantage of a 2-out rally. The Nationals hoping they can do the same. Wei-Yin Chen has to make some good pitches here against Zimmerman.
Zimmerman, their DH, grounded out his first time up against the lefties. He's got a .270 average. None of his 3 home runs have come against left-handers. 2 on, 2 out. Zimmerman's got to get a base hit. The turn. Rendon's coming. So's Jones. Here's the throw. Off the mark. Runners go. Boy, did that matter. So there's a case where a challenge has an immediate impact on the game. They go to third to see whether he touched third base. Machado thought he missed it. The appeal is denied by Dan Iasonia.
There's a pitch up and out over, and Zimmerman doesn't waste any time hammering it back through the middle. It's going to be a close play, but that ball leaks up the line from Adam Jones. And don't able to score easily, and Zimmerman walks into second base.
So it is a 4-1 ball game, and now they're going to go down to third. Manny Machado was adamant with Dan Iasonia, the third base umpire, that the runner had missed the bag coming around. That would have been Rendon who scored.
And I think Manny's was talking to the third base umpire a little bit too much. That's why Buck Showalter came running out there. Trying to protect Manny, obviously.
Manny was, and that's again for a young player, a veteran move to actually, if you are able to watch in a position while you're backing up a play, to keep an eye on the runner. See him look right there? He's pointing, saying he missed it.
Right away.
But Dan Iasonia, the third base umpire, was standing right there.
Manny thinking as he was going to the inside part of the base that his foot never got there. Still talking about it.
Play will stand though, and it is a 4-1 ball game. So the challenge on the hit batter, LaRoche, mattered. Now there are 2 in scoring position. Bryce Harper coming up, RBI picked up by Zimmerman. It'll be his 26th run batted in of the year. Hit here, could score a couple more. Strikeout victim, his first time up, Bryce Harper. And the pitch outside for a ball. Nationals in the previous 2 games these teams played, 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They left 12. Overall, their team is 10th in the National League, hitting .235 in these situations. 1-0 count. The delivery to Harper, and that's going to be down low. Joseph with a nice stop, and it goes to 2-0.
Yeah, beautiful block there. Tough pitch. As Wei-Yin Chen kind of spikes that one, but he covers it up, keeps it right out in front of him. Not falling behind. Now Bryce Harper, he hasn't been too hot since coming off the disabled list. Let's take a look at this slider getting spiked out in front of the plate. Caleb Joseph hooding that baseball, getting the top of the chest over the top, keeping it in front.
2-0 delivery on the way to Harper. Ground ball foul outside of first base. He got a big cut on a pitch up, and the count goes to 2-1. He feels as though he's just missing, that his timing is just enough off that on pitches he thinks he should normally be driving, he's not doing it.
Well, he just missed a couple pitches in last night's ball game, and you kind of had a sense that he was really close. And I think we talked last night, hoping for the Orioles' sake, that he stays just close in this series.
Chen hopes
in this
so.
Situation, yeah.
2-1 delivery, and that him fooled. He was already committed, and the ball was not to the plate, and it is in there for a strike.
Real good breaking ball. 74 miles an hour here. Harper out on the front foot, has to double hitch. Not enough left to make a swing at it. And look at the location, picking up that outside corner. Hips go, nothing left to swing. Nice strike. Pick up the second strike against Harper.
Harper just one hit in his last 18 at bats. Runners off second and third, 2 down. Chen with a 2-2 delivery, and Harper will put it up in the air and back out of play.
Took an aggressive 2-strike swing there. Helmet almost came off. And the offering at the fastball away.
Was he giving it the Ted Williams, Mark McGuire smell of the bat right there?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was. It was burning. There was some lumber burning. Pretty good pass on a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Big moment in the ball game right here. 2-2 delivery. He got him. Struck him out. Chen will get the K, his 4th, and a big one. 1 run in on a couple of hits, and 2 are left in scoring position. Orioles lead at 4-1. Supposed to be played, and they've got the 4-1 lead.
Let's take a look at the Jeep inside the numbers. This season, Gio Gonzalez, when he's ahead in the count, he's using that fastball 50% of the time, breaking ball, that big curve we've seen 36% of the time, and going to the change at 14% of the time. But here in this ball game, when he's ahead, 33% fastballs, and look at the number on the breaking ball. So really going to the curve, not going to the change like he's had so much success with here in his last 3 starts, not giving up an earned run. More breaking balls.
And Hardy will take the pitch for a strike. Hardy flied out to center field his first time up. It'll be Hardy, Machado, and Joseph due up for the Orioles. And a swing and a heater up high. And quickly an 0-2 count. Rain is in the forecast, and there are showers in the immediate vicinity. Pitch will be up high, trying to get him to go after another one, even a little higher, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Hardy with a 2 for 11 lifetime off Gonzalez. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Under the glove. Rendon could not handle that one, and Hardy's got himself a base hit to lead off the 4th inning.
The breaking ball kind of sneaking by Rendon.
Thought he was going to make the play on that. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, $50 supporting the Be More for Healthy Babies. 225 walks, $11,250. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. So the Orioles get the leadoff man on for the first time in the ball game. Gonzalez retires. 76% of leadoff batters, way up there. Manny Machado at the plate, strikeout victim his first time up. We're talking about Manny's production since coming off that 5-game suspension. He's now 12 for 22 in the game since his suspension, including the 0 for 1 tonight. Pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, well, there was some concern because he was really heating up just before the suspension. He was crushing the ball, hitting it all over the park, and I thought, well, maybe he might lose some timing with the 5 games off, but he kept himself fresh and just picked off right where he left off.
That's right towards the hole where they weren't playing. LaRoche, can he play first? Relay, they get 2. Fine play by Gonzalez to cover. I can watch LaRoche play first base all day. He is so smooth.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see a lefty that works so well. Seems like first base is more of a natural left-handed position. To field that ball out in front, the running throw to Desmond in plenty of time, giving Gonzalez time to get back over there and get to first. Pretty good play as Gonzalez finds the base. Dangerous, almost got stepped on there by Machado as he reaches back and catches that middle part of the base. They work on it all spring.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still good. It's a tough play for a pitcher. Adam LaRoche making it look easy at first base.
So 2 down, eliminates that leadoff single by Hardy. Caleb Joseph coming up. Popped out his first time up. 3-game hit streak for Joseph. 2 down, nobody on. Pitch taken outside for a ball. Gonzalez, who works quickly. 1-0 delivery. And a swing and a pitch down low off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Gonzalez shaking the arm out. He was doing that in between innings as well. Something not feeling quite right, but that was a pretty nasty changeup he just threw to Caleb Joseph.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Joseph will inside out that towards right. Knocked down. Throw off the mark. Backed up. And Joseph is on. That'll be a base hit. So Caleb will get the single. Franson made a fine try on that. I'm not so sure about making the throw because he did not have a chance. Orioles got a couple of hits in the inning. Orioles are going to be back for the first time after the All-Star break. Believe it or not, it's going to be Tuesday, July 29. Beginning a 3-game series with the Angels. Don't miss Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Every Tuesday home game, all upper reserves, only $9. Celebrate the second half of the season. For tickets, 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. So the Orioles pick up the base hit. Runner on and right to Gonzalez into the glove. Jonathan Scope, as Gonzalez helped himself on a couple of plays that inning. No runs and a couple of hits and 1 left on. Teams wrap it up with the divided loyalties on hand for both sides. Home run hitters galore. No matter what language you say it in, this series has been a good one. Wei and Chen for the Orioles. 4 strikeouts so far. Steve Pearce, the home run that kicked it off. Orioles double play combinations, turning more than anyone else in the majors. And the Orioles picking up 3 runs in the 3rd inning with the help of 1 Washington error. And the Birds have a 4-1 lead as the light rain approaches Camden Yards.
I can't believe it's raining.
The Orioles do not play 9-inning ball games without interruptions. Recently, they haven't even played 9-inning ball games.
No.
They've been 11 or 12.
Boy, did they go on a tough stretch. Doubleheader, extra inning ball game, back-to-back extra inning games.
Here is Ian Desmond against Chen, and the pitch will be taken for a strike. Desmond grounded out his first time up. Orioles up by 3. We're in the 5th inning. Left-hander's delivery to him. Feel the breeze.
Wei and Chen's fastball has been on tonight. Moving around, keeping it down in the zone, working in and out with it. He's elevated when he's needed to. Just enough breaking balls to keep him honest.
That one's going to bounce. And rather than hit it as Vladimir Guerrero would have, he lets it go by. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Discussions. They know rain's coming in. What are we going to do if it goes long? Who's going to be the guy who would come on for Chen if it's too long to bring him in? That sort of stuff. Always with the abiding hope that the ball game just rolls on here. But those are the things that have to be discussed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Desmond, Ramos, Franson due up. Chen's 2-2 delivery to him is going to be inside, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, one thing that you can't do is catch Buck Showalter off guard. It seems like he's prepared for every situation. He's prepared if a pitcher goes down in the 1st inning. He's prepared for possible rain delays.
That'll be fouled off into the seats. Count will remain 3-2. 61 pitches thrown so far by Chen in the ball game. Another big house on hand for this ball game. Yankees will be coming in to start the 3-game series over the weekend tomorrow. They are leading Cleveland 2-0 right now in their ball game in the 4th. 3-2 delivery. That one to right field. Marquez going back, has room, and he's got it. Good read. Desmond hit it hard. Marquez makes the catch. As promised earlier in the game, our AT&T fan photo.
Is that love or a chokeout?
We're not sure. Could be an assault and battery coming up here. We don't know. 1 down. Wilson Ramos coming up. Ramos singled his first time up. Now has a 13-game hit streak. Chen's delivery to him and a swing and a miss. Interesting article, Washington Post today, regarding the big hitters Zimmerman, Ramos, and Bryce Harper. They've come to the plate 306 times coming into the game, hit a total of 3 home runs. Last year, they hit a homer every 23 times up. This year, every 102 times to the plate. Now, part of that's because of injuries as they try and get back into game condition, but an enormous difference in the power numbers for 3 who provided that for the Nationals last year. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way and a bouncer.
Well, that's one thing they're hoping the second half will pick up a little bit. I mean, they have a pretty good offense, and they certainly have players that have track records of great offensive numbers. Matt Williams hoping the offense can pick it up because their pitching, we've talked about throughout the series, probably the best overall in the game with the bullpen and the starters.
Right back to Chen. He makes the play. Ramos is retired, and there are 2 down here in the 5th inning. The Chen rolling along here, looking for victory number 9. In the 17 starts he has had, the Orioles have won 10 and lost 7 on the year. 4-1 lead for him with 2 away here in the 5th inning. Franson coming up. Franson, a veteran who was acquired late by the Nationals, signed in spring training. He had been drafted and would play for the Giants. That ball in the air towards the corner. Pierce will not get this. He will cut it off. Going to go for 2. No. Good play. Pierce gets it in. A big turn for Franson, but he goes back to first base.
A great play there by Steve Pierce. Smile on his face, cutting that ball off. This is one of the detail aspects of the game. You take a great pursuit angle in the outfield. There are 2 outs here in this inning, but you're holding the runner at first base instead of him being in scoring position. He whistles this ball down the left field line, but there's Pierce backhanding it like an infielder, getting it right back into Jonathan Scope. Franson has to turn and retreat back to first. Nice play by Steve Pierce.
That's hit number 4 for the Nationals. Here is Span, the leadoff batter, with 2 down. And he's taking, and it is in there for a strike. Span, a couple of hits and 11 at bats in the 3 games played by these teams. .256 average off lefties. 0-1 count. Each team's left 2 on base so far. Not a lot of hits. And those on have scored. And that one will be taken. It will miss. Chen thought he had a strike there. Does not get the call. And it goes to 1-1.
Getting a smile on the ball call. Caleb Joseph didn't move too much back there.
Smile too many times like that and you may get another ball call.
Yeah, well, you see on the pitch track the second pitch just working itself off that outside corner.
1-1. Not a big lead at first. Check swing and it's going to be up. 2-1 strike count. Talk about players knowing the field. Nick Markakis in right field. He'll play this way sometimes against hitters like Span who are fast and who are gap hitters. Now he's just standing there upright, but he's going to turn towards center field when the pitch is getting ready to be delivered. Instead of playing straight up looking in, he gives himself a better angle on a ball that might be hit to the gap because that's where Span is likely to go. See, he'll turn towards center, and that's right where the ball goes. Jones coming over. He'll make the play, going to third base with a first and third situation. Franson, and Span delivers the single, and another important moment in the game here in the 5th.
Well, it sure is. Now Nationals putting a little pressure on with 2 outs once again. Yeah, but you mentioned Nick Markakis out there. They have to have that same type of anticipation as an infield. You want to maximize your range. And Nick Markakis out there opening up a little bit to get that half step extra. Try to cut down that speedy Span. Speedy Span?
Speedy Span.
Yeah, Spick and Span.
They still make Spick and Span?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Is it? No, really. I didn't know that.
Well, I can't say for sure.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I have
it seems like it.
No, I'm a Clorox man myself, but Spick and Span. What was their? I'm trying to think of what was their song, their logo? Spick and Span. Can't remember. It's our question of the day. We'll find it. Somebody will know.
I don't know.
He's Span, but he's not Spick. Just Span. Spick and Span was a cleaner, for those of you who may not know, used to clean floors.
Well, here's this inning. Kind of rolls along here with the 2 outs. Think about that play by Steve Pierce. If he hadn't cut that ball off and limited Franson to a single, there would have been another run on the board for the Nationals.
0-1, 2 down. Rendon, the number 2 hitter. He'll put it up in the air, and there'll be no play. Ends up in the seats, and Chen gets ahead of him. 2 strikes. Single in the 4th inning, scored on the RBI base hit by Zimmerman. So he's had a 1 for 2 in the ball game and a 4 for 11 in the 3-game set.
Well, he's hit some tough pitches. His base hit in this ball game was a ball down below his knees, just dropped the head on it. Seen him hit a home run. Basically a pitch inside off the plate, able to get the bat head too. So pretty dangerous hitter. Got to come up with a big pitch, and it does.
He got him. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Those do-ups brought to you by Mazda, Markakis, Pierce, and Jones.
Pierce gets on a 2-0 fastball. It was all in his power zone with the Orioles on the board first. Nelson Cruz gets a changeup, hits it up the middle. Desmond with the errant throw, and that leads to 2 more runs. Orioles coming up big in that third inning. Wei-Yin Chen, he's on his game, striking out Bryce Harper, looking with the fastball down and away. Here's a look at the pitchers tonight. Gio Gonzalez, 4 innings pitched, the 3 earned runs, 4 total on the board. Wei-Yin Chen, good start, just the 5 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts, no walks for Chen. Remember, Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So the Orioles will try and add to their lead as Nick Markakis at the plate drew a walk, scored in the third inning. He kicked off the 2-out rally when the Orioles got 3 runs, 3 hits, an error, 2 of the runs earned. He had to wait on that, grounds it to second base. Franz and Over will make the play. Okay, we've looked. Spick and span is no longer made.
Really?
Nope. It was a Procter & Gamble cleaning, floor cleaner primarily. They discontinued that line in 2001.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Spick and span.
Out of service for a while.
Yep. Where else are you going to get that kind of information? Why would you want it? I'm still trying to find the jingle. I know there was a jingle. I remember seeing the lady in the commercial, black and white TV, cleaning the floor with Spick and Span. There was some little jingle that ran behind it, but I don't remember what it was. Here's Steve Pearce. He put a jingle in it in the first inning, getting his 11th home run. Picked up a single, scored in the third, 2 for 2 in the ball game. Crossed the plate twice, takes the breaking ball inside, 1-1.
Steve Pearce, another big night here, jumping on that 2-0 fastball in the first inning. And then his second at bat, a hanging breaking ball that he stayed on going the other way. So showing he can use the whole field.
It looked good.
Yeah, he saw the fastball up. It just rode itself right up and out of the zone. But he took a healthy cut.
1 ball, 2 strike count with 1 away. Delivered to Pierce. He got another one in the air, left field. This one's in the yard. Harper will go back and put it away, and there are 2 down, bottom of the 5th inning.
And just off the label there. Pretty good pass, trying to get the bat head to it. Pretty good location by Gonzalez.
Orioles' Adam Jones coming up, has grounded out, doubled, picked up an RBI in the 3rd inning. Has to be a little concerned right now. We showed you Adam going back after he scored that run on the throwing error 3rd inning. Kind of limping a little bit when he went back into the dugout, said something after he got down on the bottom step, kind of jumped rather than walked down the step. He looks okay, but on the last ground ball he wasn't running as hard as he has otherwise. But obviously he's in the ball game and staying. But 1-0 delivery, and he's going to go softly to first on this one too. And the putout is made in a 1-2-3 inning. We've completed 5 here at Camden Yards, a 4-1 Orioles lead. brought to you by Miller Lite.
Wei Chen, he has been very effective with his fastball tonight, but here a breaking ball in a big-time situation to get Rendon for the final out of the 5th inning. The pressure was on with 2 outs, runners at first and second, or first and third, and he comes up with the big pitch to get a hot hitter.
So the Orioles on top in this one. Are you ready?
No, I'm not doing the jingle. You got it.
We found the spick and span jingle. We found the old commercial in black and white with the housewife with the mop doing the floors. And as a little commercial, of course it was a housewife. It was black and white TV, for goodness sake. Once over lightly, spick and span, it's grand.
Okay.
Okay. Jason Worth will lead it off. I go back and look at those. Oh my gosh. It's great. Old commercials. Watching old commercials are just great. And the pitch will be swung on a miss. Worth has struck out twice. 2 of the 4 Ks that have been picked up by Chen. He hasn't walked anybody. Has struck out 4. Gonzalez a walk and 3 strikeouts on the other side. He struck out 5 actually. 5 Ks for Chen. And a swing and a miss.
Well, Jason Worth having a hard time getting away in Chen's fastball. In his first at bat, struck out on a fastball down and away. Second at bat, a fastball up in the zone, and here challenges him with 2. 1 up middle and 1 up and away. And Jason Worth not able to get to it.
Worth, LaRoche, and Zimmerman due up for the Nationals. 0-2 delivery, and he got that one on the bat. That is deep to left field at the wall, and goodbye home run. So Worth shows the power with that wrist swing that he has. That'll be home run number 10, RBI number 47.
Chen had his number on the fastball first 2 at bats, and then got him to 2 strikes, both with fastballs. Tries to trick him with the curve. Stays on the plate just enough, and take a look at the arms. The great extension as he catches that one out in front. And he has been a dangerous hitter here start July.
So that'll make it a 4-2 ball game. Worth now has 5 career home runs against the Orioles, and 4 of them have been hit here at Camden Yards. With LaRoche up, they put the infield around, playing him to pull. Shift is on. He'll foul that one back. He's been hit by a pitch, and he is grounded out. Chen surrendering the homer, is 17th of the year. Now tied for 3rd in most home runs surrendered by an American League pitcher.
And Jason Worth has that home run swing down here. 4 home runs here to start the month of April. I mean, month of July. April. Holy cow, did I just hit a time warp?
A little spick and span.
Yeah, going back to spick and span days.
And a swing and a miss. Good location on that one. So 6 strikeouts now for Chen. 1 away here in the 6th inning.
And that fastball here in the early part of the game, keeping it down, very effective pitch. So they're trying to elevate, and here he's making good use of it as it works itself up and away to get LaRoche.
Here is Zimmerman, a base hit, and he's grounded out. He will take the pitch down low for a ball. Each team picking up a homer in the ball game. Pierce in the 1st inning. Worth with 1 here in the 6th. Chen, the 1-0 delivery on the way. That'll bounce.
Wei and Chen still very efficient, though. 83 pitches in the game. So a pretty comfortable number there as he works himself through the middle part.
Here's the 2-0 delivery on the way, and a check swing they want. Check. Nope. Al Gibson, the 3rd, down to first base.
Pretty close. Zimmerman so far off the plate. The 2-seamer running away, and it was close, but it looked like he held up.
So the count goes 3-0 with only one away, and Zimmerman will take. 3-ball, 1-strike count. Chen gave up 1 home run in April, 6 in May, 8 in June, and now 2 so far in July. 3-1 delivery, and that ball's tagged in the air. Jones going back, will not get to it. That's going to take a hop off the top of the wall and over. A ground rule double. So Zimmerman the extra base hit, and that will bring the potential tying run to the plate.
Chen getting hard here, hit hard here in the 6th inning. That home run by Worth, and now the double by Zimmerman. Some good pitches throughout the at bat, but this one he falls behind 3-1. He has to come to Zimmerman, and he is ready for it. He hammers that one out by the Orioles bullpen. You see it one hopping into it.
Tommy Hunter just getting up in the bullpen. Harper has struck out twice in the game. 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position for the Nationals. Boy, he really wound up to try and drive that ball. 7 hits on the board for the Nationals.
Well, he might swing as hard as anybody in the game. If he recognizes the ball coming into his strike zone, he lets it fly, and he's got 3 chances. It doesn't matter. He gets 2 strikes, still a very aggressive swing.
Never had a home run against the Orioles. 0-1 count. Harper laces it. Pierce right there, and he's got it. Hard line drive. 2 down.
Well, that ball was smoked off the bat of Harper. And Steve Pierce, a nice job, good concentration, because that ball had some English as it was working itself away. Harper kind of cut it, and he had to stay on and ended up almost making a backhand play on the line drive.
And Dave Wallace is on his way out. Dangerous situation here, the way the Nationals are teeing up on the deliveries by Chen and Desmond with power coming up. So give Hunter a little extra time, and they also will go over how they want to work to Ian Desmond.
You see Wei-Yin Chen throughout the ball game, very efficient. The 4th inning ran into a little bit of trouble, gave up the 1 run, but pitched himself out of that jam. That was the inning he struck Bryce Harper out to end it. And his pitch count got up 25 that inning, but throughout the ball game he's been very good. Some quick innings, keeping that count down. Dave Wallace out there, just settle him down, make sure he keeps the ball down, because Desmond, one of the best power hitting shortstops in the game right now. 16 home runs on the year.
His 16 home runs tie him for 7th in the National League. He is 6th in RBIs. 2 down. Runner at second. In the air, right field. Markakis looking up, and off the top of the wall. It's in play. It'll be a double, and he just missed the homer. It scores Zimmerman, and it is a 1-run ball game, 4-3.
Buck on his way out. Too many balls hit hard this inning. He's going to the pen. Zimmerman able to score easily on the Desmond double.
So Desmond picking up the RBI. That'll move him up the list with 55 now in the top 10 of the National League. And Chen, it just all came apart here in the 6th inning. 4-3 game. Orioles up.
fastball, locating it down and away to get Worth. The two-seamer getting Harper. Worth chasing again. The up and away fastball. A couple big strikeouts. Harper going down a couple times in the game. Rendon, one of the hotter hitters, down on the breaking ball. And LaRoche, the tough lefty. 5 2/3 innings of work, 8 hits. We got hit hard that 6th inning. A home run and a couple doubles knocked him out of the game, but 3 earned runs. No walks. Been very good this year about that. 6 strikeouts, 89 pitches thrown. And here's the Jiffy Lube pitching change. The Orioles can check this pitching change off their to-do list. Isn't it time for you to check oil change off yours? Come into Jiffy Lube and help your vehicle run longer.
Runner on at second base here with 2 down. Wilson Ramos at the plate. Potential tying run on. Ramos will go to short on the first pitch he sees. Hardy's got it, makes the throw, and that will retire the side. But 2 runs in, Worth picking up the home run. RBI double by Desmond, and it's a 1-run game. Achiever in you. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. Gary Thorne and Mike Bordick here at Camden Yards. Good one, 4-3. The Orioles had the 4-0 lead. Nationals have come back to make it a 1-run game. And both managers having to consider the fact rain is in the area. And we hope it will stay in the area, not here. But we shall see. Gonzalez, their starter, a walk and 3 strikeouts so far for Gio Gonzalez. Chen out of there, 3 runs, 8 hits over 5 2/3.
Gio Gonzalez at 73 pitches. The last couple innings kind of shaking his arm out. You see there again, just move it around, a little bit of discomfort it seems, but staying in the ball game, so it must not be that bad.
Well, the Orioles will have Cruz coming up to lead it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cruz, Davis, and Hardy. He'll go after the first pitch. RBI base hit by Cruz. Came in the 3rd inning. Cruz came into the ball game with a career .375 batting average against the Nationals with 1 home run. In the DH role, Nelson Cruz for the 43rd time this year, the Orioles DH. As a DH, hitting .280, 12 home runs, 40 RBIs now. That's in his DH role. About half of the power numbers and RBIs he's picked up have come playing the DH. The other outfield, mostly left, a couple in right.
Nelson Cruz had a great first half. I mean, unbelievable numbers.
Boy, that's the pitch that's Gonzalez has used to get him a couple of times.
A real good changeup. I mean, it's got some good action. Selling it very well. Good arm speed here. And watch it just take off. I mean, it ends up fading off the plate a good 1.5 feet. Nelson Cruz doesn't usually give chase to pitches that bad. So that's just a tribute to the arm sell and the great action he's getting on the changeup.
4 strikeouts in the ball game. Chris Davis 0 for 2. Foul tips that one. Chris has grounded out a couple of times. Hardy on deck. The Orioles now 5 wins, 4 losses against the National League. Nationals are 8-7 against the American League this season. That Williams Ball Club and Atlanta involved in the race in the National League East, while the Orioles in Toronto and the Yankees in the American League East. Toronto's got the day-night off. Orioles came in 2.5 games ahead of them, 3 ahead of New York. Check swing and a pitch inside. Washington's got a 1-game lead over the Braves. Braves have lost 4 games in a row. They are leading the Mets tonight 3-1 in the 6th inning. 2-2 again, staying inside, fouled off.
Gonzalez, tough for a lefty to pick up. Steps across his body. The 3 consecutive pitches inside. A changeup in just off the plate, then a hard fastball, and then the breaking ball. See on the pitch track that 5th pitch. All 3 of those pitches on the inside corner. Real close pitches.
2-2 delivery on the way. Lefty gets it in again. 5 strikeouts.
Another pretty good breaking ball here from Gonzalez. Chris Davis getting that front foot down, waiting on it, thinking it might be a ball, has to track it deep, and then it's just a battle. Can he get the bat head to it and try to fight it off? Gonzalez wins that one.
2 down. Hardy a single his last time up, 1 for 2 in the ball game. And J.J. Hardy will take it for his strike. Gonzalez retired the side in order in the 2nd and 5th. Trying to do it again here in the 6th. 1-1. His pace has picked up as he's gone along in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Well, tempo is so important for pitchers. Work fast, keeps your defense fresh.
Span right on the edge of the warning track. So his 3rd 1-2-3 inning as the Orioles are down in a 1-run ball game, down in the inning, up in the score.
About the cancellation of the Norfolk AAA team. They got a little bit of rain. I'll say they did. This field is flooded out. You're wondering why the game was canceled. Harbor Park currently looks like Lake Harbor Park. I mean, the whole field is flooded there, and due to that heavy rain, the game is going to be made up in a doubleheader Saturday. Take a look at the Twitter chatter. I heard Ron Johnson is firing up his old Jaws boat.
David Hall covers the ball club in Norfolk. His old, so that's what he did before. He was a Marine security official.
It's amazing how much water got in on that stadium.
Wow. Well, that river's right outside there when the Orioles did not go around, stopped off there. They were talking about the fact that river that's outside the walls of the outfield oftentimes floods, and it just comes, there's nothing to stop it. It'll come right in to the ballpark. Kevin Franston leading it off, 1-run game. The number 9 hitters had a single, 1 for 2. Franston span back to the top of the order here in the 7th inning. 2-0 count. Tommy Hunter came on through 1 pitch, got Ramos to retire the side in the 6th inning, stays on here in the 7th inning. Franston will put the ball up in the air, right center field. Jones over, and he's got it. 5th annual Casey Cares 5K at Oriole Parks coming up Saturday, August 2nd, 8 a.m. Nick Markakis and his wife Christina serve as the race ambassadors. 3.1-mile run walk will begin outside the park, ends up on the field. Runners get a race shirt, race packet, refreshments. Winners in each age group will be announced in a special pregame ceremony. You can register right now at Orioles.com/Casey, C-A-S-E-Y Cares.
And Nick Markakis, of course, a great contributor to the Orioles throughout his career, but certainly doing a lot for his community. He and his wife, 5 years with that event.
Shattered bat. Hits the bag. Hardy the throw. Great stretch to get him.
A real good all-around play. J.J. Hardy kind of waiting for that chopper up the middle. Good speed here from Span as it bounces over Hunter's head, but catches the top of the base with a good concentration. Look at that stretch by Chris Davis on the end. Hardy and Davis working well together there.
2 down, nobody on. Rendon coming up. He has a single, a run scored. He has struck out and flied out. Hunter's delivery to him, and that will be taken for a strike. Tommy Hunter's throwing some strikes in this one.
Well, Tommy's got that great velocity on his fastball, but some good movement on the 2-seamer, holding 95 miles an hour with that kind of life. It's going to be tough to get to.
Hunter's first outing against the Nationals this year, and the pitch will be taken up high. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Worth waiting on deck. This is that part of the order where there's some pop. Worth had his 10th home run. 2 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Rendon going for one right there, and he fouls it off.
That ball just takes off 96 miles an hour. 2-seam fastball, and that just darted down to the feet of Rendon. Beautiful pitch.
2-2, 2 away. Everybody straight away defensively. Hunter's delivery to him, and a swing and a miss. Good fastball down and away. Tommy Hunter gets his first K, retires the side in order. 7th inning stretch time. We'll tell you Spick and Span lives. More to come. 68 on this date. Hank Bauer was fired as manager of the Orioles. He was replaced by Earl Weaver. And the rest is baseball and Orioles history. You see the 17 years, 4 pennants, 1 World Series title, the tremendous win percentage that Earl had. Honored, of course, with the statue out in the Legends area here at Camden Yards. And Earl loved that day. We're going to listen to part of what he said on the day that that statue was dedicated. But it was on this date when he took over in 1968 as manager.
Yeah, unbelievable. Legendary manager. It was such a treat for him to show up in spring trainings and talk to the team, talk to the coaching staff. Everybody just in awe just by his presence. But there's his number right there.
Orioles batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. They're up by 1, 4-3. Manny Machado has struck out, hit into a double play. Joseph and then Jonathan Scope are due up. Gio Gonzalez has gone the distance for the Nationals with a walk and 5 strikeouts. Trying to hang in there long enough for the Nationals to get a lead and give him a chance to be the winning pitcher. That'll be way outside. And he falls behind here 3-0.
We talked about the command potentially being a problem. He's only had the 1 walk, but that 1 walk led to 3 runs. Manny Machado taking some pitches and 4 straight here.
Boy, that was 4 in a row out of the strike zone. Earl Weaver, on the day that statue was dedicated here, the words he spoke.
26 years since I last put on a Baltimore uniform. During that time, I made many a trip back here to Baltimore. And each time I came back, I was amazed how the fans remembered the past. It was great to be remembered. It was always great to be asked for your autograph. You know, it would just couldn't help but wonder how these people all remember. And now, right now, standing there, you know, I'm going to be remembered.
That was Earl Weaver, and he loved that day. He just thought it was so important, so honored that he would be out there among the legends in Legends Park here at Camden Yards with the skipper. So great that to be done while he was still able to come. Joseph squaring around here, trying to get a bunt down, fouled off the first one, squared around again. He's picked up a single, 1 for 2, trying to move that runner here in the 7th inning down to second base.
Showalter knowing the importance of runs, that Nationals bullpen very tough. Any tack on run will be very important. And Caleb Joseph, he's been able to lay down the sack bunts.
3 sacrifice bunts for him so far. This time hitting away, and that'll be a foul ball.
A little ambush attack there. Showing bunt a couple times. They're trying to get that base hit. Aaron Barrett now warming up in the Nats bullpen.
Joseph with a couple of hits in 5 at-bats in the series. Darren O'Day for the Orioles. Yankees come in here tomorrow night to start the series. Miguel Gonzalez, Hiroki Kuroda. 6:30 O's extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game. Double-decker action right now in the pens. Joseph 0-2. Infield backs up, of course. Fouled off again.
Caleb Joseph, I was talking to him earlier today, and just the frustration this game can sometimes bring on a player. Last night he scorched 2 balls. Both of them ended up being double plays. Of course, a couple great defensive plays by Rendon at third and Desmond at shortstop to break up a potential rally. Then, of course, the hits that he got, a broken bat single last night and then a broken bat single today. It's an unfair game sometimes, but they say it evens out. Of course, Caleb getting his hits, but tough when you scorch a ball and the defense makes a great play.
Took that last one. 1 ball, 2 strikeout. Orioles have Manny Machado on with a leadoff walk. They've only had 2 leadoff batters on. 1-2 delivery on the way. Joseph will take again. And we have such wonderful listeners always helping us out. Numerous phone calls telling us we are using Spick and Span still. Procter & Gamble sold the name. They don't produce it anymore, but another company picked it up and makes Spick and Span. So, Mike, your dream has come true. You can pick it up at the store just inside. Prestige Brands now makes spick and span. 3 ball, 2 strikeout on Joseph.
Caleb working a real good at bat here. Take a look at the pitch track. Some tough ones down in the zone. That last pitch just riding in off the inside part of the plate.
3-2 delivery and got him. Gonzalez 6 strikeouts. 3 of them have come in the last 2 innings.
Well, a good fastball here, kind of challenging Caleb Joseph. Caleb just underneath it, maybe a little in between. He's been mixing in that changeup, off-speed pitches so much, not quite on the heater there.
Now Jonathan Schoop will stand in. Schoop has struck out and lined out. Machado still on at first base, 1 away. Schoop will take the pitch outside for a ball. Jonathan hitting .210 off lefties coming in, .226 off right-handers. Still trying to get the bat going. Family's been on hand here to watch him play at Camden Yards. Here's the 1-0 delivery. We'll foul that one off the other way.
Jonathan Schoop certainly would love to get that bat going. Some great opportunities here in the first half. He's done some really good things. Obviously defensively, just been spectacular, turning the double play, getting national attention for the strength of his arm. Probably the strongest arm for any second baseman in the game right now. And he's turned some beautiful double plays. This whole Orioles infield has been as good as you can get.
It's the 58th game he has started at second base. And came back inside. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Scope's the kind of thing that happens during the season that is not penciled in at the beginning.
You see that fastball, good location, 92 miles an hour, right on the inside corner. Take a look from above. Perfect fastball, able to move it in and out. 100 pitches now for Gonzalez.
1-2 delivery on the way and a swing and a foul ball. The Orioles wanted Schoop probably for the second half of the season to be available to play at the major league level, but injuries came around and Schoop would get an early chance. Has played certainly well enough to be the regular, and he is. I mean, he's the regular second baseman now. If you look at the lineup for the Orioles, not that they don't. Ryan Flaherty gets time at second base, but it's Schoop. 1-2. Pretty good lead. Machado at first, not going, and a heater upstairs.
Moving the ball all around on Jonathan Schoop, and he chases one up and out of the zone. Still holding on to some good velocity, 93 miles an hour on his 103rd pitch of the game.
7 strikeouts. K's coming here late.
And you see it just riding up and out of the zone. Schoop trying to protect, keep the bat alive, but just enough late life there. Up and out of the zone.
So now it'll be Nick Markakis. 4-3. Orioles have the lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Almost 99 pitches per ball game for an average. And the pitch is outside to Markakis. A walk and a run scored for Nick. 0 for 2 in the ball game, 3 for 11 in the 3-game set. Markakis at .291 as he stands in. He and Adam Jones continue among the top 5 in hits in the American League. 1-0 delivery to Nick, and that's a strike. Markakis with 111 hits. Jones has added 1 tonight. He's got 114. Altuve still leads. 127 hits for Altuve. Cabrera's got 114. Melky Cabrera with Toronto. He's second. And that'll be fouled back. With Toronto not playing tonight, Adam Jones with his base hits now tied Cabrera for second in hits in the league. There is Adam.
Adam on pace for over 200 hits this season.
All-time Orioles record in hits. Miguel Tejada, 214, set in 2006. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and it's up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Matt Williams has had his bullpen active. So has Buck Showalter. 2-2, runner goes, fouled away. Let Buck Showalter today talking before the game. He wouldn't say who it was, but he said one of the game's outstanding relievers. Said taught him a lesson about bullpens when he was coaching, because he said the reliever said, when you call down to the bullpen and get me up the first time, the adrenaline's flowing. When I hear that phone ring and I'm ready. Second time you call, a little bit excited, but I've already been up once, haven't gone in, so less. Third time you call, you might as well not even call. And Buck's kind of lived by that.
Oh yeah. Well, he's been great about that. I mean, he hates to get pitchers up and down and up and down. Well, I guess he's been living by what he learned from that.
Yeah, whoever that was. Yeah. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 away. They runner at first. Machado will have a lot of room here as LaRoche will work behind him. This will be the 7th pitch of this at bat. 3-2 delivery, runner goes, and a walk. So 2 walks in the inning, only 3 in the ball game. Now Matt Williams has got to decide. It looks like he already has. Arguing about the call. You see the coach behind him, Matt Williams, staring in at C.B. Buckner. Not happy that wasn't a strike.
Well, that's Steve McCatty, Nationals pitching coach. He'll want every pitch to be a strike. Showing his disappointment there.
Barrett coming out of the bullpen. The Orioles are up by 1.
Into that 7th inning, but Nick Markakis draws that walk. 3 walks on the night, 7 strikeouts, 109 pitches thrown, 4 runs given up, 3 of them earned, and he gives way to Aaron Barrett. It's been a pretty strong Nationals bullpen. His earned run average at 2.86, 33 strikeouts to 16 walks. The opponent's hitting 235. Lefties up to 314, but the righties held to just a 194. He's got that power fastball slider combination. Fastball 92 to 96, and a hard slider went down. It is really good. Good late bite. Oftentimes, though, he can bounce that pitch, so Orioles base runners have to be aware of that.
Barrett out of the University of Mississippi will come on here with runners on at first and second base. Pierce has had a home run, his 11th in the first inning, a single scored in the third. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Runners on at first and second. The Orioles 2 for 2 with runners in scoring position. And Barrett, the 26-year-old, true rookie, on the mound. 2 down, 2 on. Delivery on the way down to third base. They've got a second for the force, and that will do it. France in there to get it. So it took only 1 pitch. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. We go to the 8th. Miguel Gonzalez on the mound against Hiroki Kuroda. Our coverage on Masson at 6:30 with those extra presented by Geico, followed by our game at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson.
Now let's take a look ahead as the New York Yankees come into town. 46-44 record, 28-21 on the road. You see that run differential at -28. Masahiro Tanaka placed on the disabled list with an elbow injury. They're checking that out. I heard a partial tear there, so he was having a great start. See the 12 wins, 2.51 earned run average. Tomorrow's starters, Kuroda at a 6.6 record with a 4.20 earned run average. Although Miguel Gonzalez actually would be starting for the Orioles tomorrow. Darren O'Day now in the ball game. That earned run average 1.13. That's the lowest in the league amongst relievers. He's having a fabulous first half. 40 strikeouts, just 9 walks. Opponents hitting .214. Lefties at .234. Righties at just .204. And Darren O'Day has been nothing but spectacular here recently, pitching himself out of some big time jams. Pitched 2 innings in the first game of this series. Came up huge for the Orioles when they picked up that win.
Head ball by Worth towards the seats. Davis is over and will not have a play. Jason Worth, a home run. His 10th came in the 6th inning. Has struck out twice. LaRoche and Zimmerman are due up in the inning. O'Day, the 2 innings he worked in the Monday game, he gave up just 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And as Mike said, a really big effort. They needed him to pitch more than the 1 inning, and he did it effectively. 0-1 count on Worth. And the pitch taken outside. Playing here in the 8th inning, the Orioles have the 4-3 lead. Pierce has had a home run. RBIs by Jones and Cruz, and an unearned run. The difference in this ball game right now that came in the 3rd inning on a Desmond error. Foul back. First error the Nationals had committed in 13 games. Coming into the ball game, they had given up the fewest unearned runs of any team in the majors. And right now, that unearned run may cost them a ball game. We'll see. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Worth. And got him to go after that pitch, sliding away.
Oh, unbelievable. His ability to locate that slider. Always working the perimeter, chasing a fastball up in the zone, and here it just sweeps off the edge of the plate. What a beautiful pitch. See it out there just showing itself to Jason Worth. He thinks, I got it. And right at the end, off it goes. Strike 3. 3rd time Worth has struck out in this ball game.
So O'Day gets the first batter he's faced. Adam LaRoche hit by a pitch, is grounded out and struck out, so 0 for 2 in the ball game. And he'll go after the first pitch and foul it off. LaRoche has faced O'Day only once, 0 for 1 against him. Yankees shutting out Cleveland tonight 3-0. They're in the 7th inning of their ball game. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that'll be spanked in the air to center field. Going back, Adam Jones way back in center. It'll hit right off the top of the wall. Got a chance at second base. Not in time. That is the second ball hit in the last 3 innings. They could have tied this game up and missed by about 3 inches.
Yeah, very close there. Adam LaRoche, such a dangerous hitter. Darren O'Day, his numbers are much better off lefties this season, but LaRoche able to get to this one. You see the pitch, it's trying to work itself down, stays up just enough for him to get the bat head on it and drives it, just missing. Going into the Orioles bullpen, Adam Jones plays it so well off the wall. Nice throw to J.J. Hardy, but LaRoche in there safely.
So now the potential tying run is on at second base with 1 out. Zimmerman is single, doubled, grounded out. He's got an RBI and a run scored. Day's delivery to him and a swing and a miss. Nationals 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position, which is the same number they had for the first 2 games of this series. And there is LaRoche, not particularly fleet of foot for a ball hit into the outfield, should there be one. 0-1 delivery on the way, back into the screen.
Darren O'Day, you see Tyler Clippard warming up in the Nationals bullpen, but Darren O'Day, we talk about his variety of pitches, but the one that comes up big all the time is that fastball that he can rise through the top of the zone. I mean, so good at keeping it just at the top. Very rarely does that ball come down to where a hitter can get the good part of the bat on it. It ends up being a good strikeout pitch and a good pitch to get ahead of hitters. And one there to Zimmerman.
0-2 delivery, and just keeps his at bat alive by punching it foul. So Zimmerman with the 0-2 count. Harper waiting on deck. O'Day has given up very little in these situations. An incredible 4 for 40 with runners in scoring position, a 100 batting average. And a lot of that's come, obviously, when he's come into the game with the runners already on base.
Yeah, he is amazing in pressure situations.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss and a big strikeout.
Well, it doesn't get much better than the location he's showing on this slider. I mean, just working itself off the plate, both to Jason Worth and here to Zimmerman. A couple very dangerous hitters. He drops down, gets underneath that baseball. The rotation is there. Hitters can pick it up, but it just fades away. Nice late break on the end. Another big strikeout.
Harper will get the intentional pass. First base open. It'll put runners on at first and second with 2 out. The dangerous Ian Desmond waiting on deck, but a right-handed batter.
A right-handed batter, and then the force at any base. So you want to take your chances against Bryce Harper. Lefty's a little bit better hitting off Darren O'Day.
Darren O'Day picking up the strikeout in the inning. Strikeouts against Worth and Harper. He's become the first Oriole reliever this season to strike out at least one batter in each of his last 8 ball games. That is a new high for an Orioles reliever. He's got the best ERA among relievers in the American League coming into this ball game. That's pretty impressive. 1.13.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. Darren O'Day's featuring out there. Hitters have seen him now. They know what he's got, but he is such an intelligent pitcher. Obviously coming from a different angle has the effects on a hitter. We're not used to seeing that sidearm submarine type look. But he is so smart. He knows how to set up hitters. He knows how to work his pitches, and great command of all of his offerings.
Desmond is 0 for 3 off O'Day. 2 down, 2 on. Takes the pitch outside. Nice play by Joseph to scoop it up. A 1-out double by LaRoche. He's on at second base. The intentional pass with 2 down to Harper. He's on at first. It's the top of the 8th inning. The Orioles have a 1-run lead. 9 hits on the board for the Nationals. They've actually out-hit the Orioles in this game. And he went around. Home plate umpire Buckner the call on it.
We've seen some not so good swings on the Darren O'Day slider. Another great pitch. Perfect location, down and away. Check swing. And he goes on for the first strike.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Desmond will take that one up and away. 2-1 from O'Day. Tommy Hunter, a solid inning and a third. Had a strikeout and retired all 4 batters that he faced. Chen, 3 runs, 8 hits over 5 2/3. Pitcher of record for the Orioles. Gonzalez, 4 runs, 3 earned. 6 hits, 6 2/3. The pitcher of record for the Nationals. That one gets away. That is not a foul ball. That's going to put 2 in scoring position. A swinging strike, not fouled off. You saw the reaction of Caleb Joseph immediately getting the mask off and heading backwards. And a pass ball.
I'm talking about the situation here. This ball riding up. I think Caleb thinking about the pitch being down and away. And instead he throws that rising fastball and kind of surprises Caleb off the top of the glove here. Some trouble now for O'Day and the Orioles.
Another one of those big moments. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. A base hit could give the Nationals the lead. And out, and the Orioles keep it. Here's the 2-2 delivery, and Desmond fouls it back.
Well, why not? He chased the high fastball the pitch before. Go right back to that spot. Try to get it a little bit higher, but Desmond able to foul that one off.
Runners off second and third. Here's the 2-2 again, and it hit him. Hit him as he started to move and held up, and the ball came in, and he's shaking that wrist or hand and stopping on the way down to first base. That one hurt him, and Desmond.
Yeah, that one got him square.
Ooh.
Oh man, right on the thumb. It just took off up and in. I think hitters are expecting that. Certainly want to stay in on the slider. And 2 strikes. You got to do what you can. Keep that front side in. Just stayed in a little too long, and that fastball took off and caught him.
That is the 6th hit batter for Darren O'Day this year. And Desmond goes down to first base to load the bases. Desmond hit by a pitch for the 4th time in the year. And here's Ramos. So the sacks are full here in the 8th inning. There are 2 down. 1 for 3, a base hit for Ramos, who's been their hottest hitter. 13-game hit streak for their catcher. O'Day's delivery to him. That'll be a strike.
Get him ahead, obviously very important. And the hitter, the pressure is on Ramos right now, or at least that's the feeling for him. He wants to come through with a big hit. Could potentially expand. Darren O'Day aware of that. It's up to a hitter to try to remain calm in these type of situations and stick with your own zone, not try to be in a hurry to get things done. Darren O'Day, one of the tougher pitchers in the game. If you see something good, you're going to be aggressive.
1 for 3, 1 for 1 rather, with the bases loaded this year for Ramos. 1 ball, 1 strike. Delivery to him. He'll put it up in the air. Center field. Jones. The inning's over. And the Orioles and O'Day work their way out of it. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, and a hit batter. Bases left loaded. Orioles up by 1. In any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. Another great ball game. These two teams have played some exciting baseball. Orioles have the 4-3 lead, out hit with the Nationals 9-6, and Desmond is coming out. He's pulling himself out of the ball game after being hit by a pitch, and he can't believe it. I mean, he's suffered already this season with it injury-wise, and he went out and tried to take infield, and he's looking at that thumb.
Yeah, he was pointing to where it hit. They're hoping catching just the pad part of the thumb, the meaty part underneath, but he went out to try to grip the baseball and hurt too much. Espinosa now out to play shortstop for the Nationals.
Here's the injury, the pitch that hit him.
Now the riding fastball here takes off up and in, leading with the handle, and he catches him square out in the infield, taking ground balls, trying to get a good feel, and he doesn't like how it feels. Now he's coming out.
So for Matt Williams, yet another injury for his ball club. A little light rain coming down. We're going to be close on this one. So the Orioles bat in the bottom half of the 8th inning. It'll be Jones, Cruz, and Davis. Adam Jones, a double and an RBI. Has also gone 3-1 and 1-3 on ground ball outs. And Adam will take the pitch inside. Barrett out of the bullpen to get the final out in the 7th inning. Stays on here in the 8th. Adam hitting at 305. The pitch to him. That's going to go all the way to the backstop.
Spiking that fastball.
Orioles closer.
Yeah, Zach Britton up in the pen. And the Nats certainly hoping Desmond just a bruise and maybe miss a couple ball games, because the whole first half of the season they had to deal with some really tough injuries, and you know, they just had to try to keep their head above water the whole first half. It wasn't until recently that they started really coming together with full health.
Yeah, well, hopefully that is not going to be a serious injury that'll keep Desmond out of the lineup for the Nationals. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Adam Jones. Overhand fastball. A nasty pitch right there. 2-2.
That just gets on top, straight downhill here. Fires it down ankle level. Adam Jones a little aggressive on the fastball. Bouncing just behind the plate. 93 miles an hour, though. Good velocity coming out of the arm of Barrett.
2 ball, 2 strike count. 26 years old. 2-2 delivery on the way, and got him on the same pitch. Tag will be put on, and Jones smashes the bat down. 1 down here in the 8th inning. Nelson Cruz coming up in our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
And Nelson Cruz came up, runners at second and third. He hits a chopper up the middle. Desmond makes a decision to try to get Jones, throw behind him, and he throws it off the right field wall there in foul territory. A couple runs score, and that was a big hit for Cruz and the Orioles.
Our drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 Lexus dealer. Come see why at lexusofTowson.com. Couple of strikeouts for Cruz in the ball game. Going to the All-Star game, and in our Major League notebook said Nelson Cruz, I had the chance to go last year, but there's nothing better than to be elected by the fans. To go because the fans want me there, it makes it more special. He's told that to the New York Times, and he's going. Pitch will be up 2-0.
Well, the fans pay attention, and they love power hitting guys, home run hitters, and Nelson Cruz has been leading in home runs and RBIs most of the way here in the first half.
And a swing and a miss as he came back inside on him. 292 average for Nelson as he stands in here in the 8th inning. Working against Barrett, who see why he's been so tough. 2 ball, 1 strike count. And that'll be up high. Barrett took a long time to decide to come to the majors. He was drafted by the Dodgers in 06, didn't sign. By the Twins in 08, didn't sign. By the Rangers in 09, didn't sign. Finally by the Nationals 2010.
Oh, goodness.
3-1 delivery on the way, and that same pitch he got the swing on before will take the count full.
Pretty good movement there over the top. That downward kind of angle creates a little bit more sink on that 2-seam fastball, and you see the pitches 3 and 5 there. Those are fastballs at 93 miles an hour, and they're moving down and in on Nelson Cruz.
3-2, 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 8th. Barrett ready, full count delivery. Chopper to the middle. That's right where they were playing him, though. Franzen was over there, the second baseman, to make the play, and there are 2 down. Well, can you beat the best? Join millions of players now on the only official Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Square off against your friends around the world in the live multiplayer derby mode. Climb to the top of the leaderboards. You can download Home Run Derby today for free on the Apple App Store and Google Play. Two down. Here's Chris Davis. Davis 0 for 3 in the ball game, 3 for 12 in the series.
Well, Chris has had his struggles, even though the 14 home runs and 45 RBI, pretty good production from that standpoint. But yesterday's multi-hit game that he picked up against the Nationals was his first multi-hit game since June 11th. So he's been kind of fighting through here. A rough stretch.
Shift on all the way around. One ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Yankees had a 3-0 lead to the bottom of the 7th as Drupal Cabrera, a bases loaded triple, tied it. Same inning. Brantley sac fly. Cleveland 4, New York 3. Yankees will be coming in after their game to open up the 3-game set tomorrow night. Here's the 1-2 to Davis, and he's gone. That was there. So Barrett retires the side in order, and here we go. Take those seat belts, pull them a little bit tighter. Sit up in your seats, please. Put that table up and lock it. By Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com and by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Buckle up time as we go to the 9th, and for the Orioles, a chance to get a W.
Been a great ball game. Zach Britton coming in. A lot of people thinking a snub, and I know a lot of his Orioles teammates think he's been a snub for the All-Star game because he has been dominant since taking over the closer role. 14 saves. Does have 3 wins. That 1.36 earned run average, 37 punch-outs. Take a look at the opponent batting average, just 181. Lefties at 180, righties at 181. So, I mean, he has been dominant, and primarily just with one pitch, a power fastball that he has great movement on, 95, 96 miles an hour. A lot of ground balls, and get the punch out as well. David Lowe in for defense in left field.
And here is Franson, their number 9 hitter, 1 for 3 in the ball game, and he'll go after the first pitch and foul it off. Pitcher of record is Chen, 3 runs, 8 hits, 5 2/3, looking for his 9th win against 3 losses. Gio Gonzalez, 4 runs, 3 earned on 6 hits over 6 2/3. Could be the loser. He would be 6-5 if it stays this way. 0-1 count. Ground ball towards second base. Scope will back up, play the big hop, and get the out.
You see a lot of ground balls. Zach Britton has that great ability. So hard to square up his fastball, as it has that late life at the bottom of the zone.
Scott Hairston is going to be the pinch hitter. Hairston in the leadoff spot for Denard Span. Hairston coming up after Span had delivered a single in 4 at-bats in the ball game. Hairston's done the job for them coming off the bench. 3 for 18, a home run, 4 RBIs as a pinch hitter. One down, nobody on, and the pitch is in there for a strike from Zach Britton. O'Day got his way through a tough 8th inning, working an inning in which he gave up 1 hit, a couple of strikeouts. There was 1 intentional pass. Nationals left the bases loaded in the 8th. Fouled away. Nationals have left 8 on base. The Orioles have left 4.
for hitters that don't get an opportunity to face Zach Britton very often. A lot of times they just take a pitch just to see how his release point is and stuff, and he has a very unique release point, that short arm effect throwing from behind his head, and it gets on a hitter really fast.
That one he just kind of pulled out of the catcher's glove. Jonathan Scope, nice play. Had to hurry that one over. Hairston was flying.
Yeah, Scope's been playing some great defense for the Orioles at second base here. A tough play. Great pitch by Britton with the running just one time. Glove to hand transfer. Nice throw to Chris Davis to record that second out.
So the Orioles are 1 out away from going 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. The fourth game will be played in Washington on August 4th. But they are 1 out away. Orioles looking for their 50th win. They would again go to 9 over, equaling their best mark of the year. Rendon at the plate. He will take the pitch outside for a ball. He's picked up a single, struck out twice, and flied out to left field. Trying to beat both the Nationals and the rain. Here's the 1-0 delivery on the way, and a ground ball down to third. It is fair, a base hit. Rendon gets an infield single of the purest kind, right down the chalk and right off the bag.
Unbelievable. We've seen that a couple times off. Britton actually blew a save from a ground ball just like this. I mean, so many top balls, and this one, it looked like it was going to go foul, and it works its way back. Actually comes back a couple inches right off the base.
Well, here we are. Already 1 home run in the ball game. Worth got his 10th in the 6th inning. He has struck out 3 times, trying to avoid the golden sombrero. Zach Britton, runner on at first base, 2 away, 9th inning. And the pitch just misses inside for a ball. Well, what a finish to this series, which has really been a good one, showing the quality of these two teams. Worth an 0 for 3 off Britton. 1-0 delivery on the way. 2-0.
Just a little too much movement there. Zach Britton's so good when he just aims to the heart of the plate and lets it work to the bottom of the zone. Now falling behind Jason Worth. We know he can be a very dangerous hitter, and he's been so hot here recently. A couple home runs in this series.
2-0 delivery on the way to him. He grounds it down to third and foul. He hit that off his foot.
Oh yeah, he did.
Wow. It still took off down to third.
Yeah, he hit it hard. He hit his fastball working itself inside. Ooh, right off the top. Maybe more up on the ankle. Gonna shake that out. The only time Zach Britton's fastball ever flattens out and kind of stays true is when it's up in the zone. But Zach this year has been so good at keeping it down around the knees, and when it's down there, you've yet to see a hitter really square up on baseball.
Home plate umpires asked him to get back in, and Worth doesn't like it. C.B. Buckner, now Matt Williams hollering out at Buckner.
Jason saying, did you see how hard I hit that ball off my foot? Have you ever done that? It hurts.
He's going to draw himself some more time by talking to the umpire. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Now here comes Williams. They're going to do a medical. This is just a delaying tactic here.
Definitely.
They're going to bring the trainer out solely for the purpose of giving Worth a little more time. Britton will go way back of the mound to talk to.
Now you work it as a stall tactic.
Yeah.
Sure.
Matt Williams talking to the umpire about it. Watch him hit his foot with the bat.
Yeah, so he just smokes himself, and then he just hits himself in the foot with the bat. So should be okay.
Just trying to distract here now, get Britton off his focus. 30,417 on their feet. 30,417. 2 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down, runner at first base. Worth, shattered bat, ground ball, force at second. Game over, and the Orioles have taken 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. Outstanding ball game played by these 2 teams here in the 9th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. Orioles win it by a score of 4-3. Orioles are now 16-13 in 1-run games. The Nationals 11-14.